back to World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade Classic Blind. We are going on a world-spanning adventure today. Multiple locations, multiple quests. And I'm seeing a cannon over here. So, we're going to check out what's going on over there. But first, head to the bank to store some stuff.
Warm wishes to you.
Got some ores. We got some extra food stacks. We could eat this one first, since we only have one of these right now. We're gonna put the rest of these in here. Stock up on one potion. The bandages are fine. Store these. Keep the scrolls for now. It's fine. Store the rest of these marks next to these other marks. Let's see which quest this is.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Already on that quest. Guess we can keep it for now. Let's go look at this cannon. Looks like it's for a kind of a holiday event deal. Dark Moon Fair.
Good day to you.
Welcome. Step right up and don't be shy. This here is my pride and joy, the Blastenheimer 5000 Ultra Cannon. Ain't she pretty? They look a little bigger on the midsection, but I think you'll fit. It's so much fun. Want to learn how? How to use the Blastenheimer 5000 Ultra Cannon. Well, that's simple. It's like anything else you might activate. Don't worry, I'll take care of lighting the fuse. Once you're up in the air, you'll notice that you'll seem to float, but that won't last forever. What you're aiming for is a target on the lake way over yonder. Sure that you begin your descent by detaching your wings at the right time, turning in the water, or well, I don't sell life insurance.
Off and away.
I don't think getting blasted out of a cannon is going to get us to where we're going. It's pointed that way. And it's in this lake, maybe? Possibly out in Zanger Marsh, by the size of the cannon. Interesting. Well, that is not what we're doing right now. We need to get inside the middle here. And take one of the portals. Got Stormwind, Darnassus, Ironforge. Darnassus would take us here. Yeah, that'll work. And then also over here. Possibly. There's Dodo Pass. Okay. Alright, Darnassus. That's where we're going to start. And we are going to be setting off on a very long flight once we get outside the city proper. Okay. I'm not going to be spending much time here. Always nice to visit them. Take the... I guess it's kind of a portal. It teleports you, at any rate. Out to here. And down to the flight guy. Okay.
Peace be with you.
I need a ride to Gadget Zan.
May this be.
Now this is going to be a long flight. So while we are here, I'm going to do a bit of work with talents. Once I get to 70, I'm going to look into switching things around here. Getting stuff like Mortal Strike. I want to look into all of the talents here and get some categorizing going based on which stance they can be in. You start thinking up ideas of how I want to organize things if we end up switching between battle and berserker stance. So there's going to be ones that work for all. There's going to be ones in each stance, and then there's going to be ones in 2 stances, possibly. I don't know if you're going to have anything that's only going to be in defensive and berserker stance. Seems unlikely. You never know. That is why we are looking at things here, in fact. We have defensive, battle, and berserker. Okay. First up here, we have attack. That's just auto attack. That's going to be everything. We have the ability of dual wielding. We can make a campfire. None of these are actual attacks. Gun. That works in everything. Technically, we have thrown weapon as an option. Never really use that. Or maybe we don't have thrown option. Requires thrown. Maybe we just never learned that. Not something we really ever needed. We had bows and guns. Thrown weapons really haven't been something we've been too worried about. If we go into arms here, arms is mostly battle stance here. So charge is only battle. Can't use that in defensive or berserker. Death Wish doesn't have a requires, so that could be everything. Check it also here down on this list. It's just instant. So that'd be a good thing to... I think you need to re-unlock that. The talents here. Death Wish is... Death Wish is down here. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20 points in arms. And since we're going for Mortal Strike, most likely, Death Wish will come along with that, so that'll be fine. Here we go. Hamstring is only battle or berserker. So we would not be able to slow our enemies that way if we were in defensive stance. Of course, defensive stance is the one we're not really considering, because that's more of a tanking situation, and I should not be the tank. Heroic Strike is all. Okay. A decent rage jump if we have nothing else going on. Mocking Blow is only battle stance. Focuses attacks on us. Causes threat and focuses attacks. You would think that might also be available in defensive, but they've probably got other things for that. Overpower is only battle. But it's got the whole... They have to do something first. Yeah, only after the target dodges. A little awkward. It's an instant and only 5 rage, though, so that's not bad. Here's a battle and defensive option. I don't have space on my paper. Anyway, I've set this up for a defensive berserker, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Or maybe it does, that'd be interesting. Here's Rend. Does some bleed. Retaliation is only battle stance, okay. So that's a very powerful ability once every 30 minutes. So there's situations where you might want to switch to battle stance for that. Thunderclap is battle defensive. So that's not available in Berserker. That's all we have in the arms department. Over in Fury, we've got Battle Shout, which is all good. That is just an always power up, always great. Berserker Rage is Berserker only, shocker. Immune to fear, sap, and incapacitating effects. Generates extra rage for 10 seconds every 30 seconds. Doesn't look like it costs anything either. Critical chance increased by 3%. Damage taken increased by 10%. Bloodthirst. Looks like that's also an all. Whether or not this will be as useful when I have other options, it's got a really short cooldown. Check the talents here. That's all the way down here in the Fury department. Might not be able to afford that if we're going for all these mortal strikes. Interesting. Challenging Shout. Focus attacks. All stances. Cleave is all. Okay. Commanding Shout is all. Don't know if we really do that as much as Battle Shout, since those are independent. Can't be doing both. Demoralizing Shout is all. Also good. Execute is battle or berserker. Okay. Intercept is just berserker. So that is the trade-off that you get instead of charge. But this one costs rage and you need to be in combat. Well, I guess you don't need to be in combat, but you need to have the rage. It also does damage. I think it stuns for longer, too. So that's got some value. Decent range. Intimidating Shout. All. Piercing Howl. All. A lot of these ones we use more when we're just trying to run away, but useful. Pummel is Berserker. Interrupts spellcasting and prevents any spell for 4 seconds. Pretty cool. Recklessness requires Berserker. Critical hits with most attacks and immune to fear. But 20% more damage. Boy. Slam is all. Open damage plus 140. Sweeping Strikes is Battle Berserker. So that's still available. And so your next 10 attacks Strike an additional nearby opponent. It also has a timer on it, though. Maybe not. Victory Rush is Battle Berserker. Whirlwind is only Berserker. So that could go really nicely with Sweeping Strikes. Hits 4 enemies twice because of sweeping. Or I guess it would hit 5 enemies since each attack strikes an additional nearby opponent. But this one attacks 4 opponents. I think that Cleave hits like 4 guys. So. It's either going to be 5 or 8. It's hard to tell. And then we have Protection, which we have a lot less of. We got Blood Rage, which is everything. But now we are here. So I'm going to finish looking at Protection style when we are heading off to our next locations. Down there, we have the Caverns of Time, which we have a quest in there for. But I got a tip that there would be somebody over here that might have a quest for us also in there. Very much in a, I would have never looked here for a quest. And it'd be a shame to not do as many dungeon quests as possible when they're available.
Can I help you?
So what do you got here? Nice hat. My hat? Yes, it's an unusual style, I know. From far away. Let's get a good look at this hat. Nice. Few tailors here know how to make them. When I was young and hot-blooded, I wore it as a standing challenge. Many came seeking to defeat me and win it for themselves, but no one ever did. Ah, but those days are long past. I'm an old man now. I drink, I fish, but I no longer duel. Anachronist has inadvertently challenged you to defeat his younger self in Old Hillsbrad. Afterwards, bring Don Carlos's hat to him in Tenaris as proof. Exactly how we were supposed to know that we can use the Caverns of Time to defeat him in the past is a good question.
For the Alliance.
Nice hat. It's a dungeon quest. Whether or not he's going to be actually in the dungeon part of the dungeon is another question. Because we've been down here to Old Hillsbrad, and besides the actual dungeony part, it seemed mostly safe out there. He's also level 68 here, and he's claiming that he is old now. So he could have been an elite back in his glory days. Wouldn't be too surprising. Okay. So that's what we came out here for. Going to try to get into Caverns of Time at some point. Not right now, though. And depending on what the group is like, if they already have most of the people, they could probably just teleport us over here. Because, my goodness, is it quite the trek all the way over here. Literally all the way in the corner. In a different plane of existence, basically.
Hello.
So now, we need to get back over to the other side of the map here.
Safe travel.
Head up to Dustwallow. And we can look at our talents. Not that one. There's going to be more in here we need to also check out. There's some that we haven't unlocked. Back here in Protection, we looked at Blood Rage. That's everything. Defensive Stance. Disarm. That's defensive. Disarm the enemy's weapon for 10 seconds every minute. Whether or not that works for enemies without a weapon, probably not. Revenge. It's defensive. Counterattack. I'm a threat. Must follow a dodge, block, or parry. Shield Bash. is battle and defensive. Requires a shield, though, of course. Daze the target, interrupt spell casting. Cool. Shield block. Only defensive, only shield. Increases chance to block by 75% for 5 seconds. My goodness. Shield wall. Unsurprisingly, incredibly defensive. Reduce damage by 75% for 10 seconds every 30 minutes. That is a very powerful ability. Similar to like retaliation here for battle. I have to see if there is a berserker type once every 30 minutes situation. Battle and defensive for spell reflection. A lot of stuff to deal with magic, which makes a lot of sense. That's one situation where we are very much in a bad way, since we don't typically use any of these magic negation abilities. Stance mastery, obtain 10 rage points when you change stances. Okay. Sunder armor is everything. And taunt is defensive. Taunts the target to attack you. But presumably they could switch back, unlike with Mocking Blow for 6 seconds. It doesn't say they have to keep attacking you. Interesting. Okay. We got the sea monster here, doing his thing. Where's the ships? And they did it. Oh, there's a ship. I don't typically come from Theramore. I think we need to go back out that way. I don't know if that's just like an event kind of thing. I don't know if you actually can get any drops from that. Need to find somebody to talk to. Tell me where the ship I want is going to be. There's only one ship. Let's do Menethil Harbor. There's some time to time.
Safe travels.
Menethil Harbor? Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. So now we're waiting for a boat. So we do that. Let's look through here for anything we don't have. We haven't improved Heroic Strike, or improved Rend, or improved Overpower. Specializations aren't actual abilities. This is improved Intercept, which we already have. Improved Hamstring. Improved Disciplines. Reduces the cooldown of Retaliation, Recklessness, and Shield Wall. I guess it was Recklessness. Will this be the 30-minute one then? By 4 minutes. And it looks like you can do that 3 times. Interesting. Blood Frenzy. Rend and Deep Wounds ability also increase all physical damage cost to the target by 2%. So, that's more of a passive, not an extra ability. We have Mortal Strike. Instant, requires melee weapon. Charge. Doesn't say exactly what it requires. Thunderclap was battle and defensive, but it doesn't say here. That's only battle and defensive. So I guess we're gonna have more of a question mark here. what these will be available on. We got Mortal Strike here. Requires a melee weapon. So these got that much information. Here. And Beyond the Spell's going to close this interface when we cross the line, but it's fine. Mortal Strike. It's going to be usable in at least one of Battle and Berserker, I'm sure. Second Wind. When you're struck by a stun or melees will generate 10 rage and 5% of your health over 10 seconds. Cool. And Endless Rage. Generate 25% more rage from damage dealt. That's a lot of points. It's very particular. Over here in Fury, we have dual wield specialization, improvements to slam. Oh, that's actually not bad. I think the regular slam's 1.5 seconds, so if you decrease that by 0.5 twice, that gets it down to like only 0.5 seconds. That's a bit better. Improved Berserker Rage. Berserker Rage ability will generate 5 rage when used. Okay. Cool. Flurry. Increase attack speed by 5% for your next 3 swings after dealing a melee critical. Improved Whirlwind. Improved Berserker Stance. Interface closed. Improved Berserker Stance. Rampage. Warrior goes on a rampage, increasing attack power by 30. Has the most successful melee attacks to increase attack power by additional 30. This will stack up to 5 times. Lasts for 30 seconds. Can only be used after scoring a critical hit. So that's going to be an actual ability. Rampage. Okay. Let's get on a flight path here. Then we can look at protection.
Can I help you?
Show me where we can fly. I think Duskwood's probably gonna be our best bet.
Have a good one.
Okay. Alright. So that's an actual thing. Costs 20 rage. Unlike this one, which just works. And then protection has a lot of things. Improved blood rage. Tactical mastery here. You regain additional 5 rage points when switching stances. Greatly increases the threat generated by bloodthirst and mortal strike when you're in defensive stance. That's interesting. Guess it really would depend how much we want to be switching between Battle and Berserker. To put 3 points into defensives here. Anticipation, increases defense. Shield specialization. Increases block. Toughness. Increases armor value. Last stand isn't attack. Or ability at least. Temporary health and then more health at the end. Most likely going to be a defensive ability. Write it down anyway. Improved shield block. Improved revenge. Defiance. Increases threat generated by attacks in defensive stance. Also does expertise. Interesting. Improved thunder armor. Just reduces the cost though. Improved disarm. Disarm is defensive. Improved taunt. That's defensive. Improved shield wall, defensive. Concussive. Concussion blow. Stuns the opponent. Anything this deep in the stances you think would probably require that stance? I mean, I guess it's not technically a stance. Just goes well with it. Improved shield bash, shield mastery, one-handed weapon mastery. Kind of funny you need to do one-handed and shield. I guess you could technically tank without a shield. Just wouldn't have access to anything that requires a shield without having to try switching or anything. What if you get one-handed and dual wielding? Because this increases physical damage when you wield a one-handed melee weapon. And you can wield a one-handed melee weapon and also another offhand melee weapon. Unless that doesn't stack or count. Improved defensive stance. Here's shield slam. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that that's a defensive stance. A very high one to boot. Focus rage. Reduce the rage cost of offensive abilities by 1. Interesting. Just all of them, huh? Okay. Vitality. Increase stamina by 1% and strength by 2%. Just in total. And devastate. Does a Sunder Armor effect. Also does damage. Plus more damage for every Sunder Armor effect. My goodness. That was stacked very well. I think that should be everything then. So if we cross off the ones we probably won't be doing. Like Rampage. Anything, I mean, yeah, Rampage is over in here. And we're more going for Mortal Strike. I don't think we could really get all that at once. There's going to be a total number of points to spend. I think it starts at 30, if I remember correctly. So we probably don't need to worry about Rampage if we're going to be getting Mortal Strike. Don't need to worry about anything really in the defensive category. Currently we have 38, 40, 50, 60. So we can get one more for a total of 61. So we can pretty much ignore anything in defensive stance. Anything besides Mortal Strike that we haven't unlocked. Anything that... Well, we can still use the ones that require battle or defensive, but only in battle. Then there's everything in battle, everything in Berserker, everything in all, everything in battle Berserker. So the ones in battle and Berserker are essentially in all. If that's the only two we're going to be switching to. So we probably want... There's really not that many that are just in battle or just in Berserker. We could switch things up on the bars depending on what we need to do. We are heading to Deadwind Pass, which is right this way. So yeah, we could have just the different ones in a section on the bottom, if that would work. Because that would be Charge, Mocking Blow, Overpower, Retaliation are the ones that we need to switch out. It would take a little bit of reorganizing. Should work though. I guess we also need to consider if there's anything we've unlocked that we would get unlocked. Or locked, I suppose. The easiest way to say that. This guy shows only 56. Not worried about that anymore. Gone are the days where heading into Deadwind Ravine was a death sentence. It's gonna give me where I'm going. Yeah, eventually. I have to look into which of these abilities we actually unlocked with the points that we spent. Because if we end up with some of these being re-locked because we didn't unlock them, since we have to spend the points in a different way, possibly, that would change things. Crossing over this great location right here. I need to run past the Deadwind ogres. Nothing too difficult about that. Heading down to the entrance of the dungeon here. Just to talk to somebody. We're definitely not at a point where we can really do this dungeon. Pretty sure this is actually a raid. So even larger number of people. Probably more difficult, I would assume. Categorization. Yeah, there's level 70 ghosts outside. That's a good indicator, at least. Where's this guy?
Need help?
Hey, here's the guy we're looking for. Archmage Alturis. Archmage Averox once wrote a treatise exploring a fascinating theory. He proposed the existence of an exact copy of Categorization, a world other than our own, and that both somehow shared the same space. He went mad soon after. Real pity. Here's our quest to talk to him. I thank you for taking the time to come to our aid. We have important work ahead of us. Oh, don't get your hopes up. He's got 2 quests here. We have reputation with the Violet Eye. I'm assuming these are both going to be quests in here. But I'll check them out anyway. Arcane Disturbances. I'm trying to obtain an imprint of Categorizzation's energy for a personal project, of course. Unfortunately, I'm not getting anything up here. If I could get near an underground water source, my crystal would pick up the signals much more clearly. I've heard of an underground pond as well as a well in a cellar below us. This whole place is crawling with ghosts, however. Venturing there would be hazardous for someone of my age. What do you say? We help an old man perform the scrying for me? Use this violet scrying crystal near an underground source of water in the master cellar. And return to Archmage Alturis outside Categorization. Master's Cellar. Is that a place we can get to in here? Or was that behind the locked gate that you can only go through as a ghost? We were here a while ago. I can do that right now. Let's see if we can find the Master Cell at least. Restless activity. As you may have noticed, outside of Categorization is crawling with ghostly beings. The reason for their existence is unknown. And unknowns bother me. Merely their ghostly essence so that I can study their nature. Categorization has many secrets, Eric Erickson. Return to uncover all of them. Ghostly essence to Archmage Alturis outside Categorization. These are ones outside. So both of these might be outside quests. We just fight level 69 and 70 enemies. Yeah, this is the Master Cellar. Oh. Level 70 Ghost. He's just some guy. Sure, we can take him. Maybe. Very strong ghost. Hopefully they won't try to run away. They're a ghost, they probably won't. Got ghost cloth. Oh, there's enemies down here. We probably won't get the ghostly essence thing they're looking for since we're not on the quest. I guess we will jot this down as a place we could return to at some point. If I really want to deal with this right now, though. Also, it's locked and requires the master's key, which we might get
King's honor, friend.
from doing these quests, or
Careful.
continuing the quest chain here. We've got enough space on the quest list, we could technically take these right now. I'll just keep this in mind. We need to come exactly right here to pick up these quests to do right here anyways. So there's no, like, go travel to a far-off location and then come back. So that'll work. That is the quest we need to do here. We got one more I wanted to do. And we are returning back to the Outland. Okay. We want to do this one at the entrance of the Shadow Labyrinth. Now, this would have been significantly easier if we did not mess up and fail to grab the key to the Shadow Labyrinth. But we did mess that up, so now we need to either be patient or clever. First, let's not drop off of this. That would not help. I'm gonna go straight across here. We can't go straight across because there's like a hole in the middle. So we'll go around. So what we need to do is make our way down Dockendon and get inside somehow. Either need to wait for somebody to open the door for us, or we possibly can phase through as a ghost. We're going to try that. Look at her gear. It's in a decent state. But the difficulty of this is going to be dying in a way that we can access the door and then revive. Also, here's the fair. It's right over here. Yay. We're now off the track. Not like one of the events that we saw where it just phases in and out constantly. So that's good. They're very in control of their event, which is nice. So first thing to do is to bring jolly music down into the Bone Wastes. I'm sure everybody here at the refugee caravan is appreciating it. Wow, that was really not meshing with. It's really not meshing well with the atmosphere here. Let's find a way down. I think we went the wrong way. There's one. We need to make sure we are falling on the correct side in order to get our dead body near the door. That's the idea, at least. If only chests worked differently, we would not need to be messing around with this. That's okay. We got our spear on that adventure. So it all worked out. So the main dungeon, we got the 3 smaller dungeons around the sides here. And the main dungeon is over on this side. I don't know exactly the distance we can get to the door, though. There's a lot of corpses. These are actually player corpses. You could fall, like, right here. Maybe angle it slightly so we can get back in here. Yeah, we don't have the Shadow Labyrinth key. But this is on... Yeah, we can see them right inside. That's exactly where we need to be. So it's on the southern side. Okay. Let's head up and try to die to the south. There's a lot of other messed up stuff on the south up here. You need to be slightly careful. We should be able to manage this. In theory. Oh, here's up. That should be a large enough fall to kill us too, which is good. It's called strategy, I guess. And we get back inside from out here. Without bothering anything crazy. There we go. What is just sitting on the furthest south section? The giant demon? That's a giant demon. Yep, it is Levixus. He's right there on the south. They got a whole wall in the way here, too. Where's the dungeon? Get a better view of this. We can drop down here. That's not really going to get us where we need to be. Yes, yes. I don't know if we could pull anything down there either. Seems unlikely. Maybe kind of like in the middle there. This would also be a lot easier with flying. Let's try from this side. Yeah. We can die on the side, maybe. Let's drop down here. Okay. Yeah, we need to be like right there in the middle. Make a jump over onto that fragment and fall in there, maybe. It's doubtful. It's doubtful. Yeah, that was enough. If this doesn't work, we're going to need to find... I don't think we're gonna be able to drag anything down there. I don't think that'd work. And the walls were too high by Levixus. See, this is what we're dealing with here. We really want to jump off the top of this. That'd be perfect. I guess another question is, can we even go through the wall? Our body is over here. We can accept resurrection all the way to here. So it might be close. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Nope. We can go through the wall, though. This is where we need to be. We can go in through here. Corpse is not in that instance. I know. Alright, this is Shadow Labyrinth. If we died... I don't know what the verticality requirement is. Just open this. That'd be perfect. Oh, people are coming. That'll work. Well, it was a valiant attempt. But now we're in here. Seems a little unnecessary to make that a requirement. But here we are. And we can talk to the person we need to talk to. Do they never rest? If we're to secure a future for the people of the lower city, we must deal with the Shadow Council, where they cause an even greater cataclysm than the Bone Wastes. Well, that's already a very large cataclysm, so yes, probably should stop that. Because the leadership of Shattrath City will not move quickly, we, the free people of the lower city, have taken matters into our own hands. Where our spies have been discovered, we will hold off the Shadow Council's agents while you slip into the labyrinth and see what you can uncover. Trouble with Akhenaten. It's about time that you arrived. Melisha said she would be sending help days ago. Been fighting in here longer than that. Complete. We got some reputation with Lower City. So the quest they have here looks like it's going to be straight into the dungeon, unlike with Karazhan. The Codex of Blood. Great. It's been 2 years since the Shadow Council summoning that resulted in the explosion of this once great mausoleum and the formation of the Bone Wastes. So it's been 2 years. Lore. Now they're at war with an unbelievably powerful force on the inside. The Shadow Council is at war with the Force. Eric Erickson, you must make your way into the Shadow Labyrinth to determine what they are up against, and see if it poses a threat to us. Our spies speak of their use of a forbidden book of unholy summoning, known only as the Codex of Blood. Seek your answers within its pages. Read from the Codex of Blood in the Shadow Labyrinth. You know, I probably shouldn't. Probably, pro tip, do not read from the Codex of Blood in the Shadow Labyrinth. Sounds like a bad idea. Here's one of the spies. Grichtha. Oh, there's guys coming out. Warrior, hold your attack. This is just a disguise. I'm a spy working for the Lower City Coalition out of Shattrath City. I hope you're here to help. Find Spy Togun. Togun, the fool. We're barely holding off the attacks here. He goes back in to get more information and try to save the other spies. I don't know whether to love him or kill him. The Shadow Council must have used magic to ferret us out, because all of our spies had to get out of there in a hurry. Most of us didn't make it. Please, if you're brave enough to enter the Shadow Labyrinth, you keep an eye peeled for Togun. It's been a while, and I fear the worst. I am not brave enough to face the Shadow Labyrinth, in fact. Take that, Cabal agents. Yeah, you get out of here. All sorts of guys in the Lower City operatives. Human. Sporgar guy. Broken. I'm helping. This totally counts. Oh, we can go inside the Shadow Labyrinth. There's a rich adamantite deposit directly in the Shadow Labyrinth. Could one sneak and get the Haven't. Almost definitely not. Can you even go that way? $69 and 70 elites. Nope. No, probably best to not. It looks like it's probably gonna be like a way to come back around, too. Looks pretty blocked up. It's just in the way. Shadow Labyrinth. I mean, there's a lot of guys here. But it also let me in here without being in a party. So I don't know what that means for anything. It's just like another regular dungeon, possibly? I have no idea. Starts out at level 69 elite, though, so that's definitely something. Yeah, it's like up behind there. That's not gonna work. Alright. Very good. We still don't technically have access to the Shadow Labyrinth. Hello, all the Cabal agents. How you doing? But if we wanted to do anything in here, in a group, which we would need a group, they would have the key, presumably. Let's just get out of here. And we gotta arrive back to Shatrath City. And then make our way back over to Nagrand. For all of our group quests we're trying to get done. We still have this one's completed. That's at the Throne of Elements? Okay, that's fine. That's gonna be what this is for. Anyways. Knocked off a couple more quests. Got a new quest. All looking pretty good. Back to Nagrand. Next time. Goodbye.